Hello, Internet. I'm Insane Lane, as well as a Canadian girl. And today we have officer tries to give her a ticket and release her. She forces her own arrest. Do we have another case of being arrested for being stupid? Are we going to see yet another person say, "Arrest me, go ahead, arrest me," and then throw a fit when they actually get arrested? That's becoming way too common. But let's see what we got.
On January 5th, 2024, an officer in Ohio was out on patrol when a black SUV sped past him at 47 miles per hour. After following the vehicle, the officer discovered the SUV's license plates had expired in August 2024 and quickly activated his emergency lights.
Let's find out why you're going 47.
Here's what the officer did next.
6908 radio traffic. Hello.
Hi.
Corporal Bliss with the Southern Police Department. Do you have a driver's license on you today?
No.
You do not?
No.
Do you have a driver's license at all?
Yeah.
You just don't have it with you?
Yeah.
What's your name?
I'm the owner of the car.
Can you spell your first name?
I mean,
Stopping you for your speed on Warrensville.
okay, what was my speed?
49 and a 35.
I didn't know I was going 49.
Is this your house?
No, I'm waiting on somebody.
It's from this house?
No.
No?
No.
Why are you in this driveway then?
Okay, I don't know.
You don't know? Do you have insurance on your car?
Yeah.
Did you think this is like GTA, where if she just pulls in and hides somewhere, the police will go past her? I'm not sure why they're blurring her face, but also going off the date of this body cam, her plates have been expired for about, like 5 to 6 months. That's a long time to drive around with expired plates and not get stopped.
Can I see it, please?
I don't have it.
You don't have it?
No.
Can you put your car in park, please? You don't have it with you? Who's
No.
your company?
Progressive.
Progressive. Why aren't you wearing your seatbelt?
I just took it off.
You just took it off?
Yes.
Why?
Because I looked out the window to see why was I being stopped.
Okay. Sit here for a second. I'll be right back, okay? Can I see the keys to the vehicle, please?
Why?
Because your license is suspended and you cannot drive.
Okay,
There it is.
You can leave it running so you can stay warm, but I need to hang on to the keys, okay?
Why?
Because that's just what we do. That's our standard practice when somebody's DUIs. Yeah.
Why are you taking my keys?
You will get your keys back. It's so that you cannot drive away.
I'm not going to drive away.
I understand that you're saying that, but people do it all the time. That's why we do it. Okay? I'll hang on to the keys, and then you will get them back when you leave. Because your driver's license is suspended and you're not allowed to drive.
Under who?
What do you mean under who? Under the state of Ohio has a suspension against it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who the court is with.
Okay, because I have driving privileges through Lyndhurst and Shakers and Cooper Heights.
Do you have any paperwork that can prove that? Okay.
I'm really going all through it through Shaker. I already cleared everything is done through Cooper Heights and Shaker should be completed.
The question is, can I hang on to the keys?
Okay, so we've got a bit more. Now she's got suspended license, her plates are expired, and she's claiming to have insurance, but she has no proof of it. She's getting really close to SOBSIT territory. She hasn't said anything like that yet, but it fits the script. Now, she did say that she has driving privileges. That's something the courts can allow. Even if your license is suspended, they can say, you're allowed to drive to and from work or to and from your kid's school to pick them up. The courts can allow you limited access to drive, which she's claiming to have, but doesn't have the paperwork for it. If I was in that situation, I'd have that paperwork right on the visor, because your license is going to come up suspended. The police computer doesn't have access to minute details that happened in court weeks or months later saying you were granted privileges. So you need to have the proof of that with you if that's the situation.
For what?
I explained it to you already.
And you have me blocked in. You have your camera on?
I do.
Okay, you have me blocked in. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, can I hang on to the keys, please?
And if I say no, then what?
I mean, I'm going to get the keys eventually.
Okay, but why?
I already explained it to you.
Okay, so my question is, if I tell you no, I'm not giving you my keys, then what?
Do you have somebody who can come pick you up?
Yes.
Are they on their way?
I'm not sure.
Can you call them and
Yes.
have them come on their way?
Yes.
Okay, because your car is going to be towed.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm surprised he walked away without the keys.
Are you going to walk or are you going to have somebody pick you up? Can you step out of the car?
Why? Am I being detained?
You have been detained this entire time.
Okay, why am I being detained?
It's a traffic stop. You're detained on a traffic stop.
Okay.
Can you step out of the car?
Why am I stepping out of the car?
Because we are going to tow it.
Okay, then you can't step.
It does not matter if the tow truck is here. We have things that we need to do before the tow truck arrives.
Okay, can I have my citation? What is my citation for?
Your citation is for speed, driving under suspension, failure to wear your seatbelt, and driving with expired plates.
Okay. Can I have it, please?
I need you to step out of the car.
Okay, I'm going to wait.
Okay, now they're about to get in an argument. He has every right to order her out of the car. Pennsylvania v. Mims. A police officer can order the driver to get out of the car for any reason or no reason. So, and especially as they're going to tow the car and they can't tow the car with her in it, she has to get out of the car. Now, as for the citations, I agree with all of them except the seatbelt, because with the dark tint on the back of her windows and he was driving behind her, it'd be very hard to convince a judge or a jury that the officer was clearly able to see through that blacked out back window, that all the way to the front of a long car, that she was not wearing a seatbelt. So I think, he may be right about that, but I think proving it's another matter. But I have a feeling this is where things are about to go sideways.
Wait for the tow truck. Why am I going to sit out in the cold?
Are you gonna walk away?
No, I'm not walking.
You're having somebody pick you up.
I'm not walking.
So you're having somebody pick you up.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm not walking. Can I please have my citation?
He already asked you multiple times to step out of the vehicle at this point.
But why?
You are no longer
Why do I
being
have
detained
to
and the
stand
traffic
out in the
stop is
cold?
over. So you need to step out so we can tow the vehicle.
Okay. What the female cop just said. I'm sorry, she's getting idiot points today because that was really stupid. Because less than 1 minute ago, the male officer told this woman, yes, you are being detained. You have been detained this whole time. That is how a traffic stop works. Whereas the female officer just said she is no longer being detained and that the traffic stop is over. That is not true, because he has not handed her the citation yet. She is still in the car that they are intending to tow. The traffic stop is not over, but by that cop saying that it is, what you have just done is you've ended your authority. You have ended your authority over this woman and over this situation. I'm not even sure they legally have the right to tow the car right now. Because, yes, they've said they've already called for a tow truck. However, you just said she's not being detained and the traffic stop is over. And she still has possession of her car. So, I'm not sure they have the legal right to tow this car anymore because you just said it's over. Like, this female cop, I hope it's her first year or something, because that was a really dumb thing to say. But somebody needs to talk to her about, like, don't ever do that again, because you just caused hella legal problems that, a good lawyer can definitely make hay out of that. Absolutely, definitely can. Because any action the cops take past this point can be seen as unlawful. I'm not saying you would win this argument, but it's definitely there to be made based off what the female cop just said. She just said this woman's no longer being detained. The traffic stop is over, meaning she is free to go. And they have no more authority over her. So asking her to get out of the car, to wait across the street, to give them the keys, by what authority are you now doing that? You just said the traffic stop is over and she's free to go. So you don't have the right to demand any of that anymore. You just gave that away. Like, again, you got to think long term with these things, because things like this that start on the side of the road, when they get in court, whole different animal. a courtroom, you got to have proof, and you got to have all your ducks in a row and your I's dotted and your T's crossed. And that cop just took a big eraser to any legal case. But let's see how this plays out.
And you can be on your way.
I'm not walking. Why am I standing out on the pole? I can wait in my car till the tow truck is here.
We need to inventory your car.
Okay, you can inventory your car while I'm sitting here. Or I can wait for the tow truck. I'm not about to stand out on the pole with my groceries. I'm not doing that.
That's not how it works.
Okay, so can I have my citation and I'll wait for the tow truck and you guys can inventory the car when the tow truck get here?
That's not how it works.
Okay,
The
how
tow truck
does it
driver
work?
has other things to do. We need to have the paperwork
Okay,
complete before he gets here.
that's not my problem.
Right.
Okay,
It's
so can I
your
have
problem
my
because you're making
citation?
it his problem.
Whose problem am I making it?
You're making the day extended for the tow truck driver because he has to wait for us to do our
I was
paperwork
asking
because
for
you
my
won't step out
citation
like I'm
when
telling
my
you to.
ride get here.
Okay, she is right. She's not responsible for the tow truck driver having to wait or not wait. I understand that the police want to be courteous to the tow truck company that they probably work with all the time, and that, hey, their guys like it if when they pull up, they just, hook the car up and go because we have all the paperwork ready. Here you go, and they're here for like 5 minutes. I understand that is the scenario that you want, officer, but she's not required to help you there. And as you said, she's no longer being detained. I'm pretty sure she can tell you to shove it when it comes to getting out of the car because you said the traffic stop is over. You see where this is going to get complicated. But even if the female officer hadn't said that, let's pretend she hadn't said that for a minute, and he's still saying, I want you out of the car because I want to make things easier for the tow truck driver, she's not required to make things easier for the tow truck driver. She's required to get out of the car because Pennsylvania v. Mims said she is. But that is the only reason.
When it's time for you to go,
Listen, I'm telling you to step out of the car. You do not have an option.
Okay, if I don't step out the car, then what?
I'm going to force my way into the car and drag you
Why?
out, and then you're going to go to jail.
What am I going to jail for?
For failure to comply with my order.
Because you're
obstructing
asking
official
me to stand
business.
out in the cold and wait.
See, that's where they have a real big problem. Because he just threatened to charge her with obstruction. The problem is, your backup said the traffic stop was over, meaning you are no longer conducting official business. So she's not obstructing anything, is she? So if they do end up arresting her for obstruction, that is going to get bounced in a second because you gave up your authority. For those who follow the auditor subset communities, have you heard of Chili DeCastro? He not so recently, was in jail for a while on an obstruction charge, mostly for mouthing off in court. But he got released and in fact got the conviction overturned because he saw a police officer doing a traffic stop. He walked up to film it. He was being obnoxious. But what happened was the police officer ended the traffic stop and released the driver. The driver left. Chili stayed filming the officer and, his usual antics. And the officer wound up arresting him for obstruction. The case was overturned and dismissed because once the officer ended the traffic stop that Chili was filming, he was no longer conducting official business. Therefore, Chili was not obstructing anything. This is the same situation. You ended the traffic stop. Therefore, no obstruction.
Wait for what?
I'm not asking, I'm telling you to
Okay,
stand out.
you're telling me to stand out in the cold?
Yes.
Why?
Step out of the car right now.
Can I have my citation?
You can have your citation when you step out of the car.
Excuse me, sir. Move.
Thank you. Step out.
Why am I stepping out of the car? Why do I have to wait in the cold? Why do I have to wait in the cold for my ride?
I've already explained this.
Okay, can I have my citation?
Step out of the car. I'm not going to tell you again.
I'm not. Why do I have to wait in the cold? So I'm just gonna stand here.
And you have one more opportunity to.
Okay, also, him dropping the citation, not great, but also the way he just bent down and picked that up right in front of her. I hope his command had some words with him about how dangerous that was. Like, I'm not saying this lady is violent or anything, But if she was, let's say she had a gun or a baton even, he leans down like that, back of his head and his neck are right next to her, wham! Like, dude, don't put yourself in that situation. Again, not saying she's gonna do anything like that, but as a cop, you better have, like, better awareness of your surroundings than that.
Exit the vehicle.
Okay, can I speak to this? Who's the sergeant? Who's in charge?
I'm the supervisor here, actually.
Okay, so who else is above you I can speak with?
That's irrelevant.
Oh, here comes
How is
someone
it
else.
above them? Actually, can I speak
I'm
with
giving
who's
you a
above
lawful order to step out of the car. If you do not, I will place you in
Can I
handcuffs and take
please
you.
speak to whoever above you?
Step out. You're under arrest
No,
at this
touch
point.
me.
You're under arrest at this point, son. Step out of the vehicle. You're
Okay,
under
okay, can I want to grab my
Right
stuff.
past it. You're under arrest.
Okay.
Leave your things there. Step out of the vehicle. You are under arrest.
Step out of the car.
Okay, I want to step out. I
You
don't
are
need
not
your help.
taking your stuff. You're going to jail.
Okay.
Your things are staying here. Let go. You're going to jail.
Can I speak to whoever
You
above
are
you?
under arrest.
I will say, normally they blur the faces of people that are victims on body cams. And I don't think this was blurred when I downloaded it. So it's very odd that her face is blurred, unless, as I said, this has gone to court and she basically has won the case, saying that, you know, they were acting unlawfully past when the female officer said the traffic stop was over. That's the only thing I'm getting as to why her face would be blurred. But they are, again, if we ignore that the female cop said that, they're well within their rights to arrest her for not getting out of the car, failure to comply, obstruction, blah, blah, blah. But as I said, because she did say that, good luck in court. You're going down hard.
Okay. What about myself?
Put your hands behind your back. Now. I got this one.
I can put my hands behind my back for myself.
So far, you can't
do it.
anything like that.
Put it in.
Put it behind your back now.
I'll advise you to put it behind your back, dog. Get
You're
tased.
going to be tased.
Man. It's so off of me. You're hurting my arm.
Well, you put yourself in
I
this
can
situation.
put my arm behind my back myself.
You didn't.
Okay, get off of me.
Wait.
I'm already
Hold on.
detained. Get off of me.
We have this female detained.
You please get off of me.
Under arrest.
Okay, please get off of
Get in
me.
the car now. Go this
Which
way.
way are we going?
Put it in.
Yeah.
Please get off of me.
You got anything on you that's going to hurt your any weapons or anything like that?
I'm sure the situation could have been avoided.
Put her. Come on, you get that car.
These handcuffs are hurting my arm. Can you loosen it up?
Once we step up in here, we'll
Okay, I don't need you on me. Get the off of me.
Get in the car.
Get the off of me.
There's doing a come from this side. I'll go over there.
Oh, hands, officer!
Oh, you're hurting my arm.
Okay, this is terrible procedure. Like, he's got both arms, he's like grabbing her, like very near her boobs, trying to lift her up. And like, they probably weigh about the same, so he's trying to lift his own weight right now in like snow and ice. And what, like she's gonna go the other side and like yank her across? I already hate when they do that because it's violent, it's not necessary, it's something that can cause injury. Like, they just, this strikes me as a police force that really doesn't know what it's doing. I did notice their patches said South Euclid. I'm not sure where that is, but I would not surprise me if it's a very tiny place with a very tiny police force that clearly has some pretty serious training issues. Because this is not how you get someone who's uncooperative into a car at all.
You're hurting my arm. Please get off of me. Get off of my arm. Oh, you're hurting my arm. Please. Get off of me.
Just shut it. Just put it there.
What am I being arrested for? Get off of me. Get off. Stop grabbing me.
Shut it.
Move your foot. Move your foot.
Okay, crushing her foot in the door. Like, again, this is very, very, very poor training on their part. Extremely poor.
You're making this so much harder. At this point, you're doing resisting arrest too.
Drag her again. Drag her
So
again.
we're just
Drag her
gonna keep
again.
adding shit.
And you're pulling my hair.
Miss, you want
Okay, now they're practically pulling her out the other side. Like, is it everybody's first day?
Miss,
Get off of my hair.
stop fighting us.
I'm not. I cannot breathe. I need to
Then
get out.
sit in.
Get off of my hair. Sorry, get off of my hair. Why is
You're
this?
stuck in your hair.
No, it's not. You're pulling my hair.
She's trying to get her hand out of her.
If I acted like an adult, we wouldn't even be in this situation.
Miss, you want us to fix your handcuffs?
Yes, please. They're hurting. I
Then
can't ask you to
You need
leave.
to comply.
Then sit on the seat.
All I asked you is to get in the car,
No,
and this is
please.
where we're
I'm
at.
careful about life. I
At
don't
this
know.
point, you're resisting arrest, you're failing to comply, you're obstructing official business. We can keep adding.
What official business?
We don't need to.
I don't feel safe with y'all.
Well,
Please.
that was
Please,
the
wait.
only situation is what you've made it.
Ma'am, sit on the seat.
Please, no, please get somebody here. I need to. I do not feel safe.
You got a whole
I
shift
feel
here
safe.
right now.
No, it's a civilian.
Oh my god! Did she just say the whole shift is there? I saw 3 cops. If that's the whole shift, why are we in small town nowhere? Which explains a lot. The whole shift. Every cop in South Euclid is responding to a traffic stop. Oh my god. Like, this has to be a place with a population of like 3,241. And they change the sign when somebody new moves into town. Alright, let's look one thing up. If I could spell. Yes, there's a puppy. Hi, hi, hi.
Please, please, I do not
Welcome
feel
to my
safe with
traffic
them.
stop.
Please. Please, I do not feel safe with them.
Okay, come this way. I need you to come this way.
Okay.
Okay?
I do not. I already asked about my dad with panic attack. I do not
Okay.
feel safe with
All right.
them.
Come this way.
Okay, if we knew.
I'm falling out of the car.
Okay, because there are. You want to come up? No, you want your belly. You just want belly. Yes, puppy wants his belly rubbed. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Okay, come here. Come here. Yeah. There's the baby. Okay, so I looked it up. In some states, it is lawful to resist an unlawful arrest. And since she is initially being arrested for obstruction, however, the traffic stop is ended, therefore she is not obstructing anything, the charge of resisting arrest could be thrown out all the same because she may have the legal right to resist arrest in that state. What do you think? Do you think the police are being silly? I think they're being silly. He thinks he wants his lunch.
Like this, okay?
Please get outside. I do not feel safe with them. I do not feel safe with them. Please. I cannot. I ain't done them. I have to pay this.
Okay. Breathe, 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 breathe.
These handcuffs are being accidental.
Okay.
They're hurting my breath.
You need to
I'm
calm down.
sorry. I cannot breathe.
Okay, so stop yelling, and listen to me. I just need you to calm down. I need you to breathe. Don't talk. I just need you to breathe. Just breathe, okay? Okay? Just breathe. And your cuffs are tight?
Yes.
Okay, if you calm down, I will loosen them, okay? I just need you to keep breathing and calm down, okay? We're gonna loosen them, okay? That's not how you gonna calm down.
I can't breathe.
Okay.
I'm trying.
Deep
I
breath.
can't
Deep breath.
breathe.
Deep breath. Deep breath. Okay. Deep breath. Deep breath.
Can is there someone higher than him? Are you him, sir? Are you higher than this guy here? Yeah.
No.
Can I speak with someone higher than him, please? When I ask, can I speak with? Soon as I ask to speak with somebody higher, they yank me out the car. I do not feel safe with him or the lady. Can I please ride with somebody else? I do not feel safe with him. Can I please get in another car with somebody else? I do not feel safe with this guy. I do not.
Okay.
They didn't put all these charges on me. I keep telling them I don't feel safe. They don't sound resistant. I don't feel safe with them. Please get me out this car.
And I'm going to put you into my car. Okay?
No.
But you have to calm down.
Okay, now we have cops arguing because he just acquiesced to her and said, okay, I'll put you in my car. But then I heard somebody else go, no. So now we're going to argue. I mean, granted, most police forces, they would not transfer her to another car. They would just say the officer that arrests her has to be the one to drive her. Usually that's policy. One guy's trying to be nice. Somebody else is saying no.
Okay.
Listen.
They put all these charges on me. I keep telling them I don't feel safe. They don't sound resistant. I don't feel safe with them. Please get me out this car.
And I'm going to put you into my car. Okay?
No.
But you have to calm
Right there.
down.
No, I just asked you that before. You told me no. But okay.
And he told her that those two are of the same rank. So with nobody outranking each other, how would you settle this between the two of them? Like, again, this is horrible training. This is horrible, procedure on their part.
I didn't tell you that. You asked if he was higher ranking than me.
Who did I ask and I get put in another car? I've been asking that this whole time.
Okay.
I've been screaming at this whole time. I do not feel safe with him.
I need you to calm down
I'm
and I
trying
will move
to.
you into my car.
They need just to stay here and pull me up against the car. Was about to break both of my arms and you pulling my hair for no reason.
I was not here. I don't know what happened. I'm going to have you go over to my car. Okay? Because we're going to need to move this car so the tow truck can get your vehicle.
Did you get my phone to me to enter my car?
Step on out here.
I am okay. I just said I did not feel.
Okay, and now they're arguing because other cop just basically told him don't do that because it was hard to get her in the car. Well, maybe if you hadn't been manhandling her, she would have gotten the car a little easier. Again, gentlemen, having this pissing match on the side of the road in front of her, you're not helping anything. This is a conversation the two of you have back at the station, and you're going to have to figure out what to do when you're both on the same call, you disagree, and nobody outranks anybody. But this is not the time or the place to be having this, dick-waving contest between two cops. And really only one of them is doing that. One of them is being very nice, the other one is being a jerk. What's it to you if she gets put in another car? It means you don't have to drive her. You should be grateful.
Feel safe with them. That's why I didn't want to get in the car. I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go nowhere.
Stop. All I need you to do is answer my question.
Okay.
If I let you out, are you going to give me a problem getting in my
No, I'm
car?
not.
Because if we have a problem,
We're
I'm not going to be happy.
Okay.
Do I make myself
Yeah,
clear?
I just told you the only reason I didn't want to get in the car is I did not feel safe with them.
Okay.
I'm fine now.
We're going over to my car.
Okay.
On out.
Excuse me, sir.
Bliss 6908.
I'm sorry.
Bliss 6908.
Sure.
Thank you. Gonna watch your foot. Thank you.
The suspect was charged with obstructing official business, driving with a
Holy.
suspended license, speeding, expired plates, and a seatbelt violation. In court, her charge of expired plates and seatbelt violation were dismissed. She pleaded guilty to the remaining charges and was sentenced to 1 year of probation.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, she needed a better lawyer. She desperately needed a better lawyer. The speeding and the tags is the only thing that I would agree with. on that. The obstruction and the resisting, no. But sounds like she had a pretty crappy lawyer, quite frankly, because a decent lawyer could have got pretty much all that except for maybe the initial citation tossed. The way the police, from what they said and the way they acted. Oh, no. No. I feel bad for her. Like, driving with your plate suspended and license suspended, that's your choice. You deserve the consequences for that. You know, that's why I say the citation, completely valid. But the obstructing, resisting, no, not valid. You ended the traffic stop, and in that state, she may well have the right to resist an unlawful arrest, which you arresting her for obstruction after you have ended your encounter is unlawful. But that is my opinion. I am not a lawyer. I am not a cop. I'm just a dog mommy. What do you think, Bo? He thinks he would like to roll around in that snow. But those are my thoughts. What are yours? As for the title, officer tries to give her a ticket and release her. She forces her own arrest. Yeah, it is accurate because she was refusing to get out of the car. But again, there's legal technicalities in there that should have been brought up in court, and I think she just had a really crappy lawyer. As for the cop's behavior, first male cop, see, if he hadn't been a jerk at the end about her being put in another car, I'd be ranking him higher. He's got to come in at a C. Between, putting himself in danger when he leaned down to pick up the citation and him arguing with another cop in front of her about putting her in another car, which that should never happen. I think I'm being generous giving him a C. Female cop, because she said the stupid thing that should have blown up in their faces in court, she gets an F. Somebody needs to talk to her about never do that again. Other male cop that did put her in another car, he is getting an A. Because he came up to a situation that was clearly, not well in hand, did his best to de-escalate and to make her feel safe. He did the kind thing that I very rarely see officers do. I'm taking her seriously about not feeling safe with the initial officers and just putting her in another car because what does it hurt? And she was completely cooperative with him. So he gets an A for that. That was good police work on his part. So those are my thoughts. What are yours? How would you have handled this if you were the first cop? Do you think what the female cop said should have been more relevant in court? How do you think they're struggling to get her into a car went? They need training. Do you think this town is as small as I think it must be? And what would you have done if you were this lady? How would you have handled it on the side of the road? And how would you have handled it in court? Would you have taken a plea deal on those charges? But that is all for now. Until the next one, I've been Insane Lane as well as a Canadian girl. This has been Bo. And we will see you next time. Love yourself and love a fur baby. Bye.